I'll hold as hard, as tight as I can. I love it.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Scotts Flat Trail Grand Ribbon Cutting Ceremony. In this case, due to the lack of appropriately sized scissors, it's going to be our first official ribbon hacking ceremony, as we will cut it with a McLeod. First off, before we kind of get into that and permanently close this egress to the recreation area here, want to just say a few words and invite the Forest Service and NID to also say a few words, and then we will wrap this puppy up. To start with, though, I just want to say that this has been a landmark project for me, and I've been building trails for many years. And all the years I've built trails, and I love it, by the way. If people sometimes wonder why I do what I do with no pay, it's because I'm passionate about it, and I feel that it's a critical, vital part of all communities, the opportunity for children and our families to be able to have safe recreational opportunities. So for me, it's a great way to be productive and in the forest and in nature where I love. And I just really want to say that this project, more than any other project we ever did, had a huge amount of participation. We had over 60 volunteers who paid to be on the project crew. This is the first trail project in Nevada County that I'm aware of that ever had a volunteer group that actually signed up to build a complete trail, okay? And so this is a really unique landmark in the fact that it demarks the commitment of a community to get more recreational trails built and actually stepping forward to learn the skills and secure the resources to actually do the job. And I don't know if all of you had a chance to ride the trail or to walk the trail, but this is definitely one of the best trail projects I've ever been involved with. The character of the trail is unique, and it really includes a lot of love and creativity and character contributed by every volunteer. And that is something that we really don't get to appreciate when trails are built by contractors. The opportunity to get people involved on a community level means that for generations to come, we will have stakeholders that have an interest in caring and maintaining these trails. And that does not happen when people have an impression that trails get delivered by a stork in the middle of the night, okay? Because that's not how they get built. So first off, I want to just list a number of people, because for me, this ceremony is really about bringing to closure a fantastic effort. And although my name is thrown around a lot in many contexts in regards to trails, clearly, this effort and all of the efforts I've been involved in over the years never would have happened unless I had a huge amount of support, okay? And along with that comes the responsibility, I guess, of having to be speaking like I am right now. And I am really nervous, and I'm not a good public speaker, and maybe that's just my story. So I want to I want to acknowledge the support from, first of all, some individuals that have gone out way beyond the call to pledge capital to pay for the items. The trails ended up costing around $13,000, and that is a significant savings from $100,000, which was the base estimate for the construction cost for this trail if it was contracted. We had local businesses like B&C, Diamond Pacific, and Hills Flat that came through with major product donations. And of course, Hanson Brothers Rentals, Harmony Ridge Market, 5 Mile House Restaurant, Sports and Remedial Massage. We had this great lady named Pam come out after our work efforts and massage trail workers. And I tell you what, people were so stoked on that. And these businesses have nothing to do with trails other than the fact that they feel that they're a part of this community and they want to support things that are important to us. And then also we have organizations that are very much committed to trails in our community. And some of those agencies who have kind of a mandate towards recreation are the United States Forest Service and Bear Yuba Land Trust, as well as, of course, NID. And without the support of NID and the U.S. Forest Service, who are the land managers who gave us this opportunity to build the trail, this clearly would not have happened. So we really appreciate their support and their forward-thinking vision and proactiveness in supporting trails. And then on a more community level, NGO, we have a lot of fantastic user groups and community organizations that are very much heart and soul behind the vision of creating trails for our community. And at the top of the list, I want to make sure that that bicyclists of Nevada County get the strongest level of support, because when this vision came up, there was one group that stood up and defended the opportunity to have a connection to this lake from the old trail that was being closed. And that was our local mountain bike club, Bonk. And not only did they step forward and advocate for the new trail to be built, but they also stepped forward and raised money and supported this in critical ways, like choosing unsuspecting volunteers to be project managers, like Randy and Matt. And without this higher level of commitment and focus, right, this project clearly would not have happened. It is not a simple process of managing this many anarchists and passionate people, okay? And then in addition to that, we have YBonk, which really contributes a lot in the way of youth to this area and works closely with our local cycling community, and Single Track Action Riders, another local mountain bike. There's also new hiking organizations that we're connecting with, and other groups that very much so enjoy the trails. And we were clearly present to the level of interest day one when this runner came charging through our group of trail builders on her way to work, and that's Peggy here, who's the recreational manager. And I got to say, that was an inspiration not only on her championing this project to the board of directors, but also her being out on the trail before it was even open, giving positive feedback and encouragement. And that was fantastic and not expected. And then I want to acknowledge some individuals who went out of their way and contributed way beyond the cause, over hundreds of dollars individually. And that's Peter Crow, I apologize for my pronunciation of the names, Penny Pianashi, Ray Briers and his wife Pam, Nancy Henry and John Olson, GravTech Labs, Mark Bittner, Paul and Sharon Shabika, thank you, Paul, Phil Guria, Sam Raymond, Colin Rogers, Peter, Caden Kelly, Barry and Kitty Carney, Mark Paris, and Dana Dunlavy. So a big hand for all those individuals who put their money where their mouth is. So I'd like to turn the mic over to Joe Chavez, our local recreational trails specialist for the Tahoe National Forest, recently promoted.
Well, I'll be brief. Probably not what you expect from the federal bureaucracy, but I do want to say I was very happy to get involved with this community project to build this trail. We saw a problem with the Old Scots drop, an unsustainable alignment, even though it's been there for a long time. More use was going to create a lot of problems. Then it dumped into a bunch of private land, multiple parcels without any easements. So the Forest Service response was when we found out about this trail, well, we need to do the environmental thing and close this trail, and that obviously got some voices raised, come out of the woodwork to say, hey, why are you closing our fun trail? So I was very excited to hear folks. Zach actually came up and found a possibility of connecting Forest Service land and NID land to create the path that people were wanting to get from the top of the ridge in our Pioneer Trail down to the lake. And so I was excited to help foster that, help make it happen. The Forest Service provided the environmental analysis documentation, working with our partners with NID on both our lands. This was great. And in the Forest Service doesn't have much money to just build trails, especially on non-motorized trails. There's no funding source. And so we've been working with clubs and volunteers to do this work. So this is going to be a 4-mile trail. Okay, volunteers, if you want it, you're going to have to build it. And they were excited to be able to have the opportunity. So we just partner, you're going to build it, but you got to build it within these parameters. So we worked all those out with NID, Forest Service, the potential builders, and then here we are. And I love it. It's a great community aspect. Starting on the Forest Service, connecting our National Scenic Pioneer Trail, 25-mile long, just another great opportunity for the locals and the folks who come here from out of the community to explore our trails. And hopefully we will continue to do this as we are in some other areas of the forest. But the Forest Service really appreciates and needs folks like the ones who had contributed to making this possible, because it really wouldn't happen without the volunteers. So I just appreciate it and want to give a big round of applause for all that volunteer effort to make it happen. And with that, I'd like to introduce one of the board members from NID. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Nick from NID.
I'm your backup.
I can't let Peggy get off that easily.
Yeah.
Because after all, she's the driving force behind this. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Nick Wilcox. I'm one of the 5 directors of the Nevada Irrigation District. This is a project that we have always been in strong support of. NID is of the community. We're elected to represent you. We obviously supply water, but we also have a recreational mandate, and all facilities here are a testimony to that. In addition to our water supply function and our recreational mandate, we also are, I would say, fairly major landowners in this area. That land is useful to us as watershed protection. This trail is completely compatible with that function of NID. So my understanding is that the trail is 4.7 miles long. All but 1 mile of that is on NID land, and we couldn't be more pleased than to share our property, which is your property, with the public. And it wouldn't have happened without Peggy. I don't know if she wants to say anything or not, but we'll just let her smile, because she is the engine, the little engine that could in this case. So we couldn't be more pleased, and perhaps there are more projects like this in the waiting. The board of directors is very supportive of this kind of community involvement, because, as I said, we are part of you. And thank you so much.
Really quick. Just really quick.
You have to stand in front of the mic, Peg.
I just want to say thank you also from my personal side. I'm with the Sierra Trailblazers, and we love it. I've been taking folks out hiking and running. And then from the districts, this is great addition for the community, I have to say. And you guys that have worked out there, you guys have been out here weekends upon weekends while I'm running or doing whatever. And thank you for all the hard work you guys have put in. I mean, it shows and it's wonderful. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Watson. I'm from the San Jose, California area. 4 and about 28 years ago, I went on my first mountain bike ride. And after that first ride, I knew I was going to be hooked on this sport and it was going to be part of my life, you know, for the rest of my days. But little did I know that my journey of mountain biking would take me to an organization and giving back to community, as such, being part of the Forest Trails Alliance. About 3 years ago, I was in the Downeyville area, and I was looking for a new place to go mountain biking. And I had heard that there's this old gold mining town called Forest City, and they've got these cool trails. So I went up there venturing one day, and I was immediately blown away what I saw, what volunteers could build by themselves. I always thought that trails were built by Forest Service people, open space districts, and volunteers just kind of helped out and contributed in a small part, but weren't responsible for the vision and the dedication, like an organization like the Forest Trails Alliance, where it takes a project from beginning to end and sees it through. And I'd like to surround myself with generous type of people. You know, those are the kind of people that I've made the best friendships with. And I remember I was just recently working on the Plum Valley Ditch Trail. We were doing some brush work. My buddy Moss and Blair with me. And I had a kind of an epiphany on the trail. I said, you know what, guys? You know, we are now the they. And they're like looking at me like, Tim, what are you talking about? And I'm saying, well, have you ever went mountain biking before you're involved in any type of organization or doing trail work, and you're riding down a trail that needs brush work or needs some work, and you say, you know, when are they going to start, you know, working on this? When are they going to fix this trail? And I finally realized, well, you know, I'm now the they. I'm one of these people that is part of giving back to the community and part of something a lot larger. And I have a job as a firefighter, and that job is fairly satisfying. You know, there's a lot of rewards to that career, but there's really no comparison to being involved with doing this type of trail work. It's so rewarding to be able to create something that wasn't there before, that generations upon generations are going to be able to enjoy. And there's no other way to spend my time than with people like you, generous people that are taking time out of their busy schedules to give back to the community. In closing, I would just like to say that, you know, I'm a member of the Honor Guard for my fire department, and I learned a toast when I was in my training in Carson City, Nevada. The guys training us were from the Goshen, Indiana Police Department, and they have a toast, and they say, "Here's to us and those like us." And so I know we don't have beers or drinks with us, but I like to say, you know, here's to us and those like us that are giving back and doing great things for the community. So a round of applause for ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, let's stretch that ribbon. Randy, sharpen your McLeod. So we're passing out some flyers. One of the things that we strive for in Forest Trails Alliance is creating trails with character, right? And I can't think of any better example than the Stone Arch Bridge right down here at the parking lot. At the close of the ceremony, I want to invite anybody who wants to walk the trail a brief distance down to where the bridge is right here and look at it. It's simply incredible. And the fact that this was handcrafted by non-professionals in a few days' time for really no cost, right, is just spectacular when the average bridge that is contracted is like $60,000, right? So to me, I just want to apply to all the creativity. This is kind of like the greatest example of it in my mind in one place, and encourage everybody to get out on the trail and look at all the other unique features and to participate in the future. Okay, Randy, do it. Woo! Get it! Yeah! Woo! Thank you.
That's why